Welcome to another exciting episode of Be Different Podcast. Guys, I'm your host, Nekesa Esther, and as usual, excited to have my two guests who will tell us more about themselves, and then we'll go on from there. Karibu, hey, I don't want to say a different name. Karibu Beverly.
Asante sana. My name is Beverly Saboke. I think Sai and me notice like maybe I'm not qualified for this because some are employed and right now I think that I'm unemployed because I recently really quit job yangu, so currently niko hapo kwa vitu za hustle bado.
People say in between.
Yeah, niko in between jobs, yes.
Welcome Beverly.
Asante.
That's the name?
Yes.
Okay. I love this book.
Hi guys.
Hi.
My name is Nicole. This is not my first time at Be Different. I'm happy to be back. It is exciting. So I'm currently a PR and communications intern at a PR agency. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So welcome, Nicole and Beverly.
Thank you.
We're just going to pick the conversation up from last episode where we talked about, we talked to Gen Zs, just the ones who are about finishing school. The reason why I bring the issue or the name Gen Z to the picture, because we want to discuss the world of work or the perception of work from the Gen Z's perception, right? Mm-hmm. From the Gen Z's point of view, yes. So Beverly here introduced herself and immediately said, oh, I'm not qualified to be on this panel because I feel like I'm in between work, jobs. How do we call them? Jobs. Yeah. So you will tell us why first you said that, and then you will really tell us what you're doing with your life. Yeah.
Just about 3 months ago, I was so excited. I was called for a job and I was happy. Now I'm moving from being an intern who's not paid to something that I can call permanent employment where I'm getting a small fee. But once I get there, after I've already signed the contract, because in that process, kuna ile pupa, you don't go through things kabisa. After already signing the contract, and I'm like, oh my God, I just signed my soul to the devil. This is not what I want. And there's no way for me to get out until issue. So for me, for those 3 months that I was staying there, I was just wishing, okay, when? I was just counting the days. Okay, 2 months to go. Okay, let's do it. 2 months.
What was so bad about it?
I feel like it was not what I was looking for. For the previous months where I had been working before, it really informed my next step for life. And once I got there, I was, yes, they're paying me, it's okay, it's fine. But when it came to the work, I didn't feel
the type of work.
Actually, not the type of, okay, part of it was the type of work and also the people around the office. I felt like it was a toxic office space. And if it's a toxic space, as an individual, there won't be any personal development. And for a company to actually grow, the individuals, the people who are working in that company also need to develop personally so that they can drive the organizational growth. So I felt that because of the toxic work environment, daily I would just go to work by 8. I'm like, when will I get out? And I was not being the productive Bev that I wanted to be. And that's when I decided I'm no longer going to continue. I just quit even before my contract ended. I remember it was 14 days to the end of the contract, and I just write the boss an email. Thank you for the opportunity, but I don't think I'm going to be proceeding with this. I think I'll just go out and seek for other things that I can do that will satisfy my inner peace. Yeah.
We'll come back to you, Beverly. Nicole.
Yeah.
Have you had that? Where people are signing contracts and leaving before they're over. Tell me about yourself. Okay, your workspace, like where you are right now.
Where I am is exciting. It's pretty much exciting. I go home every day with something new, and that is what I actually look for when I am working somewhere, is that the way I came in the morning is not how I live. whether I have just learned a vocabulary, whether I have learned how to do something I didn't know how to do in the morning, that is what I aspire to as my work environment, and that is the environment that I am every day. And even when we speak, I tell you, I learn things every day. I try to open my horizon, try to challenge myself, get a lot of, work delegated to me so that, you learn and be fast. Because in our industry in PR, it's a fast type of industry. So if you delay, gone, even though maybe to So yeah,
you love the space you're
love
in right
my
now.
workplace very
Okay, pause. Rewind. That's how our machines for rewinding used to sound. Beverly and Nicole. So what did you study for? And what, did you envision as your work outside of school?
Personally, I did journalism and media studies, but when I got into the 4th year, I didn't have enough experience because part of my schoolwork was more theory and less practical, and I feel like journalism requires the practical skills more. So when I was almost graduating, I realized that I've studied for something that I don't have skills for, and the employments are like looking for people who have 5 years experience, 3 years experience in maybe handling a camera. And then I realized, okay, I've finished school, yes, but I don't have what the employers need for me to get employed. So I came back, did an internship, the media roles that I wanted to do. I did a bit of editing, camera work. I learned that. Now the next part I was looking for, apart from this, what else can I do? So that I wanted to do marketing I'm a lover of events. So the reason I even chose journalism, I saw myself doing videography for events, editing shoots for events because I enjoyed events. So I wanted to merge marketing, advertising, and the media. So after this internship, I went for a marketing role so that I can merge media and marketing so that I can do what I wanted in the end goal. But that is not what I got. That is not what I got.
So where you signed the contract for 3 months, was it in any field? Do you mind telling us the field?
Yes, it was in, I was a marketing associate, but it was not marketing per se. It was more of, let me say, call center job. You call clients, tell them, okay, tell the clients about the product, that is accumulating the product knowledge and sharing with the clients. I believe that was part of the marketing, but 90% was not marketing, 90% was sales, and that is not what I wanted. So once I realized it was more of sales than marketing, that is when I wanted I felt like it was time for me to go.
All right. Nicole, what did you study for?
Just before, I would really love to hear her thoughts on the difference between marketing and sales.
We are coming back to but go on, answer.
Oh, for me, I've done sales before, but my sales part was that for when I was in campus, my side hustle was like ile onyas mamanga supermarket. Hi, I'm selling geisha. I had that. I had the media part, and I wanted to go marketing full force for events, like telling people we have a product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but not calling customers, telling them to pay. You do a follow-up on a daily basis. What I signed up for, it was like, have you ever been in a call center the way they do? Hi, Nicole, you promised to send 60,000. When are you sending it? On Friday. Hi, Nicole, it was more of a call center and more of kuitisha deni than the marketing. It was more follow-up than marketing. That is what I mean,
Debt collecting.
Yes.
Interesting. What was the question?
The question was, what did you study for, and what did you have in mind in terms of work before you left school?
Well, what I studied journalism and media studies, but I majored in PR. So there's PR, DevCom, print, and broadcast. So I majored in public relations. I have always been fascinated. I'm really trying to trace where the love of PR came from. That is what I'm doing. But I have loved PR for the longest. I did my diploma in PR, and then my undergraduate was in PR as well, and so when when I did my diploma, of course there was the attachment bit. So you either choose to do a project or do an attachment. So I decided to do an attachment. Where I went for the attachment, I pretty much didn't have my ideal workspace, so to say. Let me just say, my ideal workspace is when I get out from, when I am clocking out, if that is English. When I'm clocking out of work and get home, I want to be exhausted. I want to feel that, yes, I have done something. Yes, the reason why I'm exhausted, I am drained, is because I did want to. So that is my ideal workspace. And not drained because, oh, it's a toxic environment, but drained because, tired because you have done work. So that is my ideal space. And so this place that I was, it was not, I used to get to work, watch YouTube videos, write speeches, concept notes, and then go back to YouTube videos. It was a requirement, so I did it for 3 months, and then, yeah, that was that. But right now where I am, I would say this is my ideal workspace, because I am constantly doing something. When I get home, I am tired, and tired in the sense that I can't wait to get to work, so get back to work to finish what I started. So that's where I am.
Okay. Thank you, Nicole. Back to you, Isaboke. So is that all that you are doing, like since you left school? Have you ever done anything else for money, and is that all you are doing, and now you're like, that's it?
I sell clothes. That's my side hustle. Since I was a child, my mom instilled this thing in us: don't put all your eggs in one basket. So even if I get employed, I know one day inawezaisha. So what else? Ni nini nitafanya kunikushion? So when I was young, my mom used to sell underwears, go ofisi, and she has a salary and she still does that. Anauza mchele. So I think I just carried on. But for me now, I'm not selling undies. I sell clothes to students, and even if I go to an office, I sell clothes to my workmates here. So that's my side hustle. Apart from what I've studied, I have a side hustle where I go to Gikomba, get clothes and sell.
Is that all you do for money?
All I do for money.
Okay, apart from what you have explained, okay, if this, it's an internship, right? If it ends right now,
back to square one, honestly. I'm still trying to figure out what else I can do. It's a process. But I don't know, I just, honestly, I see myself in the, you know, there are those people who don't see themselves in offices. That's just not their thing, you know. But there are people who actually, their whole main goal is to be a CEO of an organization. And I think at the I am not disputing having a side hustle. That is something I'm still thinking about, because of course in where we are, we need several incomes with our economy. So I'm still looking for where I can channel my energy, my ideas to. But as of now, I'm really working my off to make sure that, you know, I just see myself in a job.
all right.
Basically.
So when you look at money vis-a-vis your dream, you know, your perfect scenario of work. So you said you're also seeing yourself employed. That will be the perfect scenario for you right now.
Right now, not really. I want to be financially stable from my own small business. I want to have that business and don't rely on another person for my survival. I want to rely on myself so that I can put all the effort and energy to it.
So if you get a call right now, Bev, and someone tells you, come, kuna hii job ya 150 per month, will you take it?
Definitely I'll go, because I don't have where my business is right now, it's not at its best. So I'll go for the capital. But
it's not marketing, it's not events, it's not media.
I don't think I'll go.
Babe, come, kuna 150 sahi, kuwa PA ya mtu.
Okay, I'll go, but I won't be happy. That's the point. I'll go, but I'll be doing it because I need the money, not because I'm satisfied with the job. Yeah.
When we say the PA scenario, it's still
that is just an example, but
yeah, but you see, when you're called to be, for example, a PA, in one sense or the other, in my opinion, feeds into my PR, because PR is about organization, it's about relationship. So with a PA, you have to also create and sustain relationships for this person you're being a personal assistant to, and that in a sense builds your skill set. And I was reading somewhere that where we are in this time, industries are like inverse in a sense. You find engineers, technicians, when they go for a job, they are asked, do you have any communication skills? Do you know how to speak to people? When now you come to communication, to the communication marketing industry, where our communication skills is what we are being taught, we are asked, do you have any technical skills? So in a sense, I feel like having, in as much as they won't align, you have an end goal, yeah? Who said it's a straight line? It's not. So you might have to PA, you might have to do calls, because even as a PR, even in marketing, you have to call sponsors. Hey, what do you think? I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm traditional in a sense, but I'm not judging, but in a sense that you doing the call center, if I was in your shoes, which I am not though, but I would, do it in the sense that there is a time where I will have to call sponsors, donors, funders. I will want to go and pitch. You have to call someone. So there's that phone etiquette that you kidogo have to learn. So nothing that you do goes to waste. That's what I think. Nothing that you do goes to waste.
That's what you believe.
That is what I believe.
No matter the toxic work environment.
What is toxicity? I don't know. I have never been in a toxic environment, so I can't speak. I can't speak on it.
For example, my former boss is this type of a person who walks in the morning, and the first thing he says, maybe he might abuse someone, not me, someone else. And then that person who's abused, energy is transferred.
It's a ripple effect.
Ananiletea. And then you have a meeting with a client. Now that meeting you can't do it well because of that.
Of that energy
space. Then katikatia, you can be doing a meeting, then all of a sudden, he has a way, he had a way he had connected his machine to everyone's machine. So another way, he's micromanaging everything that you're doing. You can be talking to a client and he tells you, no, don't do that, tell her this. You get? For me, I felt like I didn't have that total control of what I'm doing what he wants. Okay, I understand it's his business, but you didn't have that space
allow
to
me
thrive,
to
do what you called me here to do. So if I feel like, okay, you're giving me the opportunity, but you're not, you can only learn from doing it. But if I can't, if you unaninyima your chance ya kulearn, that's actually toxic. That is what is toxic for me. Because at the end of it all, you've said, asubuhi ukiingia, by the end unatoka 5, you've learned something new. But if someone is denying you that opportunity, he's actually wasting your time, and you're actually wasting your time in that space.
Yeah, because that's the... Have I asked this question, or it's ringing in my head? So in looking at, when I was thinking about this conversation actually, I was looking at it from this scenario. We had the perfect jobs, let me call them that, in our times. Okay, now parents' times, we had the perfect jobs. I don't know whether I'm young or old or apo katikati. So we had the perfect jobs where you hear someone working for, let me use this example, KPC. Hey, it's just like, wow, it doesn't matter, just get me through that door. Even if I'm going to sell tea, if I'm working at KRA, I don't mind to serve tea. If if I'm working at KRA, I don't mind. Just get me through those doors. Leave the rest to me. Do you have the perfect job?
It's like when they say, you know, the correlation with UN agencies. You're like, I can work in UN. It doesn't matter if I am sweeping the floor, if I am
sweeping,
I think
the windows.
Do you have that perfect job?
I don't think. Okay, I do. My dream job definitely ni UN. I always tell my friends, mimi nikipata job UN hata kama ni hiyo customer care inakataa.
Hiyo simu utakall.
But now the thing is, we are looking at the job security. Enzi ya wazazi wetu, that was the thing. I want to work in a government office because I know at the end of the month, hata kama nisipofanya kitu, nitalipwa. But for us now, the Gen Z, I think it's quite different. Okay, we want just that security, but we also want an environment where we can go and our opinions are valued. Yes, you get. It's not like, I know my mom, even the last time we had a conversation about work, aliniambia, guy, unataka kuacha, sasa utakuja tu kaa hapa kwa nyumba. And I was like, okay, I understand, nimerudi back to square one. But at the end of it all, I need to grow. I need to figure out myself. And in that process of figure out myself, there's some things I'll take, there's some things I'll drop, there's some things utaniambia niwache and sitakusikia and mpaka inichape kiboko and I'll be like, oh, that is what she was saying. So I just want, I just told her nipatie chance ya kugrow. There's some mistakes anazona nikifanya and I'm like, yeah, but don't tell me sit there because mse ananilipa at the end of the month. If I'm not happy, I won't be productive, and that would be like wasting like my whole day in an office. As Nicole said, watch YouTube. That you can do that. Unaweza ona YouTube content iko, and when you're going home, you feel so empty. It's like you've wasted like 8 hours of your time. That is what. When I'm looking for a job, I just need a space that I can grow. And if I find that I have a chance of watch YouTube and I'm watching things that are not meaningful, that's a sign. For me, that's a sign I'm not being productive in that space.
Perfect job.
My perfect job is, I think,
UN.
No.
UN agency.
Not really.
Nicole, can you come? Kesho kuna job hapa ya 300k. UN volunteer.
As I said, you know, but when you say UN has different branches that, you know, you share values. And I think for Gen Zers, I was telling her before the set that our generation, we are no longer searching for organizations just for work. We are searching for organizations that we share values. You know, it's not, you see the way CSR is done at the end of the year. No, that is not what to just tick that box. Okay, so in the next year, so this year this is, and we ensured that we did CSR for the community. No, and I don't think that actually even goes with the current clientele in this generation. No matter whether they are millennials, Gen Xers, all of them right now, it's sustainability, it's climate change, it's eco something, eco tourism, eco. I was reading somewhere. I'm like, the sustainable media, sustainable advertising. Do you understand? So now people are very much educated and they know what they want. And right now, even when you're packaging messages, you're not like bouncing off ideas on yourself. You're packaging messages as you put yourself in your consumer's shoes, in your client's shoes. Yeah. So now, when you find an organization that you share values, that my value is honesty, my value is diversity, inclusivity, hizo vitu zote, and you find an organization that does that in actions and not just it's in its strategic plan, trust me, Gen Zers will work. They will work, because that is actually what we're looking for in this time. And I listened to Over 25, and Jules was saying she wasn't seeing herself in like a box, in like a job. And you see, she's not, I don't know, I'm speculating, she's not of she's not a Gen Zer, but you see, she's sharing in what Gen Zers are, because you're looking for somewhere you thrive, somewhere that gives you your creative freedom, somewhere that you can grow together with the organization.
So looking at the Kenya landscape and looking at what you just said about, companies that have values and that are actually, practicing and living the values, does time matter?
Time in what sense?
Time to get there. Bev,
I
if
think
it takes you 10 years, you will wait until you get that perfect company that has that, all those things that you're looking for.
so for you to get to that perfect company that you're looking for, you really need to be always kuna keti, then you're waiting for that company. You need to be going for these jobs. When you're going through all these jobs, you'll be figuring out, this one is not for me. You get sihi. But now it's not like for me, like 1 month unatoka. You give it time, learn one or two few things, then you just know this is not somewhere for you. Then you plan your exit. Yeah.
So have you conceptualized? Okay, I know this is maybe something you've never thought about, but have you conceptualized then how much time is necessary for me to stay at a place before I move? Because there was that debate, and this is something I was reading, that nowadays Gen Zs don't care the turnover. Like it's, excuse me, I quit, I resign. Let's come job. You feel imeenda hivyo. Do you consider the turnover time? Because question, Bev, will you put this 3 months on your CV?
Yes, I will.
You will?
Yes, because there's some few things I've learned
That you've
from
learned.
that job.
So, reason for leaving. Okay, I know sometimes we lie, but reason for leaving, because sometimes we put it on the CV.
And most of the time, when you're going for another job, they ask you that question. For me, Nigejibu, I felt the company was comfortable, and me being a creative, I needed a space where my ideas could be shared. Na company ina share your, as she said, value. Like, so if kama nataka place inataka wase creative, wanasikiza thoughts za wase, naweza sema maybe nilifeel your company, it was a bit comfortable, and I needed to
move,
to progress. That's why I moved. Ama unasema tu contract iliisha.
Babe, did I just lie on camera? Nicole, have you ever thought about it? Conceptualize the whole turnover and how it affects you?
I think that is one of the things that probably I am fearful about, because in your CV you'll have a contract of says 2 years, you left 3 months, and then you put it on your CV. That is job 1. Job 2, same. Job 3, that's a pattern. For me, my turnover time is, I think, 5 years. Be in a place, as long as it is what you see, what you love. 5 years.
You'll stay there 5.
Go to another organization. 5 years, go to another organization. This makes you dynamic in a sense. Working in a corporate, so for PR, you work in a corporate. There is, for a corporate, you're just promoting one brand. It's just that. In an agency, you can be promoting 3 brands in the same month. You understand? So there's that dynamism. So for me, 5 years, tembea, 5 years, tembea, and I think that will make you grow in a sense. And also, as you're being in an organization, ask yourself, venye niko hapa, and as I leave, what is that one thing that I've made better so I found people being sulky in the morning, people not talking to each other. Did I change that culture? You understand? People just keep to themselves, don't talk, don't bounce ideas towards each other. Did I change that? So that's that.
But I also think the reason why we have people who are jumping from jobs to jobs is because people have not, let us not lie, people have not figured themselves out.
True.
And as I've said, Nicole has said 5 years.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult if you've not figured yourself out. For example, if I've not landed that dream job, it's hard for me to stay
5
for
years.
5.
I actually want to
It's
ask
a
her 5
lot.
years.
Five is a lot to stay at a position and maybe you're not even
Yeah,
happy about it.
yeah.
So for us who are for us people my age maybe right now who are trying to figure themselves out, I think for my turnover would be maybe a year and a half. The same company, same role,
yeah.
same duties.
Umevumilia.
Same role, same duties. So
Yeah.
after that 1.5,
Yeah.
give me something, give me more responsibility. At least nione na progress. You get? Then inanipatia time more nini reason ya kustay kwa kampuni, but staying in a company for 5 years, the same role,
Okay.
same responsibility, that is not actually moving forward.
Okay, now when I said 5 years, of course I didn't mean
Yeah, you
you
progressed.
entered into the organization as an intern. 5 years later, you're an intern.
Not an
Now that's
intern,
that
maybe
being stupid.
unaweza.
No,
Same role.
No, I'm saying same role.
No, I'm just saying it's the same. When I'm saying the same role is you enter in an organization as an intern, and then 5 years later you're still an intern. See, that's just
No,
the same
I can
role.
enter in a company as a sales associate, you get? Then after 5 years, I'm still a sales associate.
It's what we're saying the same thing, but you know, I honestly, in my opinion, I cannot. When I say 5 years, of course there is growth. Me in my mind, I can't enter into, say for example, in the organization that I am right now, an intern. So, and then my contract ends, and then they renew it also as an intern. That doesn't make
Do that.
exactly, and that's why I'm saying 5 years in an organization, you also have to, you know, personal growth.
Yeah,
In
it's very
this,
important.
in this 1 year that you gave me as an intern, yeah, you have seen me grow. These are the skills I can now bring. You have seen my work. If you can't, you know, promote me even to a PR and communications associate, 2 years. And there are people who even go from, you know, the associate into CMOs and yeah, and so when I say 5 years is 5 years in an organization where you're moving the ranks and then move to another organization, not 5 years in one role and then move to another organization, 5 years the same role. No, that just it does not make one economic sense and one personal sense. I mean,
Wow.
how much do you hate yourself?
I love what I'm hearing. Paint for me the picture of the employers, because you guys are talking really nicely. And man, now I'm wishing I was a Gen Z. Paint for me the picture for the employers that are out there, whether they know or you've met an employer who actually lives the values they've written, hung up on their walls, and the employer who understands the whole aspect of, you know, personal growth, giving you responsibilities, not micromanaging you, and giving you the good money. Paint for me the picture of employers in Kenya.
Right
now
now,
that we're in Kenya.
I feel like more, every now, even if you check your LinkedIn right now, you'll see a lot of people are employing.
Employing.
Yes, they're employing, but I don't think they take it up to themselves to actually train these people to be maybe the best employee. They just want people who have 5 years experience. Can you do it or not? Once you're there, they give you tasks. They're not actually, I feel like where I've been, they don't take that time to train someone to become the perfect person they're looking for. So when they see you don't have that thing, they let you go, they bring someone else. And also in terms of leadership, I've met few that are leaders. I've met a lot that are bosses. You know, bosses, leaders actually listen. So for my journey, I've met a lot of bosses and few leaders. Even my previous role was a boss, where you just give an idea, they're like, oh, okay, then they shelve it. Another one, okay, they shelve it. So for me, a perfect employer for me would be that who is willing to actually, they'll see a potential in you and take that chance of training you to become the perfect employer that they were looking for. That role. Yeah.
Nicole,
She's
what's
saying,
the landscape of employers in Kenya?
she's
In your
actually,
experience?
she's actually saying very interesting things, and you see, I actually even think she's mentioned something like a gap. Gen Zers, we are saying that, you know, these workspaces, of course I won't have every...
You don't have the 5 years experience.
And I won't have every skill that you're looking for. Are you willing to invest in me?
Tukutane katikati.
Ndio. And that is why you see you'll see that this generation, many people will say that we don't value education, but this actually is the generation that values education, and we are willing to go in debt because of education.
Okay.
Research.
I've taken that.
Yes.
I've been told to go research.
Yeah, we are very willing to get educated because of this gap. Employers want a 5 years job, you know, that perfect employee. But you know, so what do I do?
I'm coming in with the knowledge.
Yes, I am even at work, and while at work I do my 8 hours. I start doing, you know, my online courses. I am doing, and these online courses, especially if you want maybe Harvard or Oxford, these accreditations,
They're available.
Accreditations, CIPR. Those kind of things are hella expensive, but we don't have the money. And these organizations, more often than not, have money that they can, you know, invest, and also have collaborations with these places that we want skills from. But are they doing it? No. And that is why we decide to do what? Go in debt, get education. So maybe the money that we get through the perfect employee will pay our debt. And there are employers, going back to your question, there are employers who are really taking up the whole point that, yo, this is a new generation coming, and it's coming by force in the workforce. And I was reading in an organization's strategic plan that one of its strategy is to ensure that they employ Gen Zers as Gen Xers and millennials get off the workforce. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because one, these employers who are looking to employ Gen Zers have understood this one thing. Gen Zers are loyal.
These ones, we're talking about high turnover.
Please. You know
loyalty and high turnover.
Listen, we are loyal. I can't be loyal, as she said, she can't be loyal to a toxic environment. I can't be loyal. If I get my perfect scenario, my perfect environment, tell me. And in this strategic plan that I was reading, the reason they are saying this is because millennials and Gen Xers are loyal to each other. Do you understand? Loyal to their colleagues. And they're not loyal to the organization. So how does this merge into the organization?
Loyal to the organization.
But, trust me, we are very loyal to organizations. As long as we share the same value, this organization is doing is giving real impact, leaving impact to the society. Trust that the turnover will. So if I am to give advice to employers,
excuse me, employers.
Listen up.
Can you listen up?
And so if I am to give you will be an employer one time because you're running your own business. Even you with this podcast, this is an enterprise, you know. So when you're being an employee, let people have their creative space. Do not micromanage them. I mean, let me say, I am being micromanaged in my mother's house, you know. For those who still live with their parents, what time are you coming home? You know, you haven't done this. As she was saying, the mother is asking, now you'll be coming to stay. Do you understand? I am from that, and then you're coming to micromanage me. And then for Gen Zers, it's deliverable. You tell me, do this. It doesn't matter how I do it.
I need to believe that you will do it.
Whether it is
ChatGPT or not. I knew that was coming.
You have gotten your deliverable. But you know, in as much as you're looking at AI is not the enemy. It's our new world for Gen Zers. This is our world.
Adapt. Adapt. Catch up. Where? Employers, have you heard? Please play catch up. Okay, so I've asked the question about the Kenya landscape. The other question is, do you have a big uncle? Do you believe in that? Let me laugh about that. Please laugh, and then now you answer.
Okay, we every home, family, extended or whatever, have that one person they look up to. So personally, I had an uncle, and he told us, "Maliza degree, maliza your degree." And I remembered after I did my 4 years, nili photocopy degree yangu, CV na kila kitu, mpaka leo sijaijibiwa. So I just figured out dunia uko solo. Don't depend on anyone. If I was waiting, hadi sasa ningekuwa na watch Teletubbies nikingoja tu anko yangu afanye kitu. So you just have to push yourself. Don't depend on ati anko ama auntie. But connection is really important. It gets you to the point you wanted faster. But if you don't have and you have that, even if you have that connection, go that extra mile of figuring things out for yourself instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you.
Yeah,
big uncle.
Well, of course, as she said, every family has those ones. I am throwing advice. Please, I beg. If you can't give us jobs, stop telling us. It is your job. You worked hard for it. If you don't give us, we won't, you don't owe us anything.
Stop making false promises.
Exactly. Stop making false promises. If you can't do it, just say, the way, just go the way I did. Not in bad faith. We will understand, And as also she mentioned, connections are good. Don't solely depend on them. But, if I am coming to you, I have zero skills. I have not put in the work myself, and I come to you as my connection. What are you going to do about it? Do you understand? So we also need to put in the work. We have to work, get the skill set that is desirable in our industry, and then get connections. There are very good people outside here who are willing to connect you, who are willing to mentor you into being who you want to be or into being who they are. There are people who legitimately want to share their experiences and their knowledge.
Okay, I like that. So let's say you've entered your perfect place of work, right? And then I've given you tasks, and you go ahead and cha and do it. I want to ask a question in two ways, or two questions in one. Do you believe there are those things that are non-negotiables and they're here to stay? Or do you believe there's a new way of doing everything? Adapt, and everyone adapt in everything, in every way, adapt.
Or maybe I could go first. There are values that, even personally, there are values that are non-negotiable. So there are also those societal values that are non-negotiable and feeds into even how the organization works. And even, you see, in an organization, just like a church, they're just people congregating in one building or in different buildings, depending if it's a global organization. And so these people are governed with, if you're living in Kenya, for example, you're governed by the societal values so there are things that are non-negotiable, So if, as we were speaking, this is your perfect scenario, this means that you share in values, they have impact in the society. So this means that these people also share in what you share. And so those things are non-negotiable to both you and the organization. So maybe that is honesty, that is professionalism, that is empathy, that is trust, integrity, you understand? So time management also is whatever generation I'm hoping that it will.
Wewe si nimetuma nini hiyo assignment nataka ni 10 pm si nimeituma so you got it you got it on the 18th of the month.
In my opinion, time management is a value. It is a skill that I think every generation, whether Gen Xers, Gen Zers, and those that come after us, that is, I think, in my opinion, would be a non-negotiable. And all those, because this is your perfect scenario. Perfect scenario varies from one person to another, and so those values that both of you share will be non-negotiable.
I also second her thought when it comes to those things that can never change.
Yeah.
There's no need of starting saying,
Let's accept.
honesty, how can we change? No, there's some things that are just like that. You don't even have to think about them. But I believe Pia, in every company, as different people come in, people come with different ideas. For example, in the working space, maybe for example, tunaingianga job on Monday to Friday, and to may notice on Monday to Friday, kazi tunafanyanga Monday to Friday, we can easily do it at home. You get? So maybe me being a creative, I can suggest, hey boss, can you be coming to work maybe from Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and this siku zingine we tukae home, but we still. So that is me bringing my creative idea, but I'm not changing anything ati zile zenye zinakaa kwa kampuni zile ground. Ni tu idea ingine tu kada go to hivi.
We still one.
Still one.
From home.
Bev, the champion of remote.
Where do we draw the line between that? That's what I'm asking. Where do we draw the line between that creative freedom and, you know, things just have to be done the way they have to be done?
What do you mean things have to be done the way they are being done?
The basic courtesy. Let me tell you, my mind is going
Overdrive.
relational. Those ones of, hi, my name is Nicole, and you know, basic courtesy of, I've come, I've introduced myself, I've done it. And then there's a difference between someone who says, oh, I'm an introvert, so always just text, don't call. Where do we draw the line between, you know, accepting you for who you are and actually that thing you said about professionalism? There are some things you won't see you're crossing the boundary. You're just like, bro, sin me deliver. Na mnajijua. You always do this. Like, yeah, you gave me a task, I delivered. Nini.
Deliverables.
For me, I think, as I've said earlier, even when you want to have that creative freedom, as long as haigongani na the values, the kampuni, if you want that freedom to go and do work at home, bora you submit the work. Kama uliambiwa kazi ni 10, you do it by 10. So you have that creative freedom of working from wherever you are, but you're still meeting the deadline. Even when you're talking to clients, you still have that value venye mmefundishwa kuongea na clients. So you still maintain what the company is, you maintain the brand itself, and still do maybe something else creatively. I don't know if I've answered that question.
You've tried.
Well, as she said, when you're coming to an organization, you're not changing anything. You're just feeding into your you
But
are
you also want to add.
you are an addition. Yeah. And so if you bounce an idea like working from home and your boss or your leader actually says, yeah, that's a good idea, I never thought. But honestly, COVID did it. You know, COVID people worked from home, and we still have organizations. That means that even during this remote time, working from home, remote, you know, kind of thing, organizations thrived. You know, and then you think, okay, so like yesterday, it rained heavily. So you think, I am to leave home, say 7. So normally I use maybe 30-45 minutes. I'm at work, so that's 7:45. Arrange myself. 8, I'm starting my job. So it rains heavily. It's Nairobi. There is traffic. So there's 7. Unafika job 9. 2 hours. You have absolutely wasted. You would have been at home. Those 2 hours, you have worked. Do you understand? So if it makes economic sense to your boss, do it. Organizations actually are doing hybrid. Boundaries, honestly, you have to understand the way we say in Kenya, hii kazi si ya mama yako. And even if it's a family business, there are things you have to respect because in a sense you can't. Am I the one who came to look for you as you were looking for this job? No. So why would you come and tell me, oh, you're an introvert or you can't speak?
Don't call me text. I have gotten the instructions.
No.
But maybe I can pose this as a question. Do you have to be extroverted just to fit in an organization?
No, not really.
No,
Right.
not really.
So for me personally, when it comes to the personality, I think even when the employer is making a communication, there's a way they do an email communication and there's a way they do a formal communication. So if my creative idea is to merge all of this, when you're doing the communication, just pass it or through all channels. The only introvert part of the message, and then make channel peer feedback iko optional. If I'm an introvert, I can also reply via mail, and hiyo inamaanisha pia nimepata message. It doesn't have to be ati nikuje nisimame niseme by the way nimepata message.
Exactly.
Point is, I got the message, understood it, decoded it, and I'm giving you the feedback. It's not whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. But saying ati oh mimi sijui nini ni introvert, I don't think that is allowed. But it's for the employer to understand employees. You can't have all extroverts. You have a mix. So you have to have a hybrid method of communication to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Next question. Now that we are women, would you sleep to get that? Sleep for work.
Hell
Sense
no.
for work.
Hell no. Hell no.
Mtakula nini?
Tutakunywa maji.
Mtakunywa maji?
We will drink water. Honestly,
Until?
no.
For me, I think for you to get there, inamaanisha you've tried everything. Hadi umeuza njugu kwa barabara ikafail. So for me, I think
Really though?
Yeah, that's the question I want to ask. Like,
as in, for me to get to that point, inamaanisha I have tried everything that could be tried out here.
Personally.
Ndio unafika hiyo point inamaanisha exhaust all the options hadi kwa makanga hadi kuuza njugu.
It's just one lay to get your perfect
Who said
job.
it's one?
Okay, I'm thinking. I
You
don't know
have
how
to
it works.
sustain.
I don't know how it works.
Sustainability, my friend.
Sustainability, you're talking about sustainability. But it's your perfect work. Oh, creative freedom. Oh, I'm delivering. Oh, I'm personally growing. And especially if, but it's happening. You have your, okay, I'm sorry, I'm Gen Z.
It's okay.
I'm talking Gen Z, eh? You have your friends with benefits relationship. So can't you just have this one lay for your perfect work? Is it because of the label?
Let me tell you something. So you have, I cannot speak for a whole generation because, as
People
I say,
different.
we are talking about values in this conversation.
Yeah.
People have different values.
Yeah.
So I was saying, I was looking at Twitter today, and it was just bypassing. I saw a photo. See, you know, two photos, side by side. So. You know, I'm sitting here, the boss is sitting there, we are discussing. Next photo, you know, I am head to, you know, to what is this thing called? This lower.
Gas. West. Is it gas?
Whatever. So, you know, under the waistline. So, and then the caption was, I hope she got this job. Yeah.
Interview.
But you see, that is them. You understand? Different people in our generations have different values. I mean, in the generation that we don't. Sex is not something we hold dear as what Wakitambo used to. I mean, kaende, you know.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So
So,
unapeana bure unaweza lipisha.
Wow.
as they say, umekalia migodi.
For me, I think it's, as Nicole has said, it's a bit personal. For me, even if I land that job after I have done it, I'll be saying, okay, did I get this job because I was qualified for it?
Of course
Am
not.
I because I slept my way through it and it wouldn't sit well with me? You know, kuna kwamba na ukiapply, you get a lot of rejections and you call for interview. Kunako ka thrill unapata. Then when you finally accept and you feel like, okay, I was accepted because they saw something.
saw
I have,
something.
but now when you sleep with someone, okay, you'll get a direct access maybe to a managerial position. But now, it's something personal. For me, it's personal. I'll be, even when I'm making a decision, okay, am I making the right decision? Am I actually qualified to make this? Is this decision
Imposter syndrome.
You get? Ama ni juu nililala na yeye nikafika in this position. You get? For me, ingekuwa like something mental, so that's why I wouldn't do it.
I think she just brought up that whole issue of imposter syndrome because personally when you sleep your way through jobs, through roles, even when, and let me tell you, people know. People know.
Who will know?
They will know.
People know.
People will know you slept to get that role.
They will know.
When you sleep with someone, there's energy you pass. You can't pretend.
You cannot pretend. People will know, even if it's not that day. 1 year,
They will know.
2 years, they will know, and they won't see you in the same light. You know, and in this generation that we are, personal brand. What are you marketing as a person? Do you understand? So now you will be conflicted.
But what if it was just one lay in the
It is one lay, but you see now, it's things. If I slept with someone and got a manager, can I not sleep with someone and be a CEO?
That's the thing.
Do you understand?
Oh,
but
so what kushuku throughout your career
but
path?
through your career. So the moment I find out that this person has slept with the boss to get, in as much as I won't tell, okay, I will tell the next person. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We will say that, and as they say, your image is you inside out. Do you understand? So these people and the best way to market something is by word of mouth. That is the best. So now me, I'm marketing you. How? Badly. Because I'm from here. Our manager slept with the boss to get this job. I'm telling a friend who works somewhere where the boss is friends. That is employee.
So
People talk.
in
So
case,
it's
but the manager slept with the boss to get the role, but she's qualified. So what?
The moment you sleep, let me tell you, the moment you sleep.
You're told you're qualified for this role, but you have to do this to actually get to sign.
But
Dotted line.
when you do it, Nekesa, when you do it, personally.
Does it
we
take
are-
away your
we-
qualification?
It does not, but mentally, we are championing for mental health. What is that doing to your mental health? What is that doing to your dignity? Depends on whether you hold that thing dear. But at the end of the day, imposter syndrome will eat you away.
For me, I know of companies where when they think you are very qualified and they can't have you right now, they wanakuweka shelf. Ile time utakuwa free, utakam. You don't have to sleep with anyone. You get. And for me, I also believe that you see these people you're sleeping with, they have a network also. So as we're saying with Nicole, mimi nitakaa kwa company for 5 years. When I want to exit, see that person you slept with has a connection. Maybe the next person you're talking to, ni beshte yake. So he'll also know for you to also get this
Sign on
position.
this dotted
Do
line.
so all through your life. Progress yako itakuwa umepata juu.
And that's why I said sustainability. How are you going to sustain your career from that moment henceforth? Are you going to sustain it with just sleeping around? And then what comes of your qualification? If that is what you will be doing from manager to CEO to board member to being a founder, do you understand?
Yeah.
But also the truth, kwa ground, you know, we are talking about, okay, we
Yeah.
have morals, but kwa ground, like it's really happening. Even people
it
are
is.
not
See, on your face,
are not doing it for a managerial position.
No.
Maybe hata tu ni secretary ama cleaner mahali, they're doing it for that.
Job security, and that was actually my next question. Your career, how does it? What is it like in terms of hierarchy? How important is it to who you are, to your identity?
It depends. Is your identity tagged to?
Like that's what I'm asking.
Well,
Because the reason why there will be, this high turnover, why can't you make your 150K as someone's PA? Because I'm still Bev, the marketing, events marketing, and I still feel it, and this is not changing who I am, but I'm making my money and I'm paying my bills, and I'm you know, how important, or I just want to hear how important it is where you've placed your 8 to 5 or your ways of making money into who you are. As in,
I think this is something Bev spoke into. She said, you know, she's hoping the employee, like the employee, now capital, her salary becomes capital for her business. You understand? So now she has this full-time job, but she has a side hustle. This means that her being an employee does not matter in this sense. Using her as an example, her being an employee does not matter. What matters is this business that she's creating. Tunashika?
Got it.
So now, this business that she's creating and injecting her values, her everything, you know. So
what you do 9 to 5, I'm asking the importance of that in
your identity. That's why I'm saying, as her, and I see she's agreeing, because she said her ideal scenario, if she has control over it, she would be a businesswoman. Yeah. And so this means that her 9 to 5 is like her side hustle in a sense, and then this is her main gig. Yeah. So this means that her business is her identity. That is why you find that when people are founders, when people are creating something, they name it sometimes after themselves. Isaboke clothing brand, Bev, you know, clothing apparel. It is her.
Attached.
This is something that she wants. This is something she is born. Then that will stick into her, you know, will mesh into her identity. Also, when you share a cause, when you share values with the organization, then this will also mesh with your identity, because when you speak about your organization, you'll be proud of it, and you'll be also saying that I am doing this because.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, I don't want to be selfish, but as Nicole has said, I have a vision to, even if it's not like that clothing brand, I want to create employment.
Okay.
And for me to create employment, I need capital to start a business, make it mature. So when I'm going to work, and you're telling me to stay in this role that is paying 150, why am I not satisfied in that? Human beings are never satisfied. When you stay in that role that pays you 150, you want more. Because when you stay in that position, you feel like you're stagnant, you're not actually growing. At the end of it all, you want to also feel like there's a sense of growth. And apparently, this growth comes with maybe promotion, and the promotion comes with a salary. So at the end of it all, we also want to, since we're using that case scenario where I want to become an employer, I also want to rise for ranks in roles, and I also want to get a raise in my salary so that I can put it my business aside. So I wouldn't say that I would like to stay in one role, one salary, get satisfied. Most people won't do that, but also I'm part of it. I won't stay that, but I won't sleep my way through it. You get it?
Parting shots, ladies and gentlemen, on Gen Zs and work. Parting shots.
For me, I told Kina Nicole earlier, nobody has figured themselves out.
Wow.
Just take it a day at a time. We're talking about a perfect job.
Yeah.
You won't get that perfect job unless you try. Go out there, look for jobs. Don't be saying that, but they mean into a media, I only do media jobs. Go out there, look for other things. Maybe you can find they are actually connecting at a point. And also don't seek perfection. Be ready to learn, be proactive, push yourself, learn new skills. Employers will, hata tukiongea hapa, they'll still look for people who have 5 years experience and they have a certificate in what. Also look for a way to become better, learn a new skill. Yeah.
Thank you, babe. Nicole.
But I think what I would say is, one, as we are in the quest of looking for a perfect job, be kind to yourself.
True.
when you decide to quit a job because it was not ideal for you, be kind. You know, there's something called regret. Utafika time you're broke, and then you're like, I wish I wouldn't have quit. But there's something I see on socials. It says that don't let loneliness be the reason why you go back to a toxic relationship. So I would put this in an organization. Don't let brokenness take you back to a toxic environment. And pole pole.
An organization that's not for you.
Pole pole. And make sure your organization and your values
aligned. Yeah. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, officially I am a millennial identifying as a Gen Z because, excuse me, I am that. Thank you so much for coming. I have really enjoyed myself and I have actually learned, and I hope you learn too. Comment, like, share. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one.